Well, g'day, folks. How we going? This is the first time I have actually ever had YouTube come out before StreamYard. Not StreamYard, Melon. Uh, I, all I did today was put more memory into my computer. But hey, such is life. Um, First of all, let me go into the chat. G'day, Michael Ann. Yes, you were first. Well done. Next, we've got Rob on the road. G'day, Governor. Now, Rob is saying he needs to. Hang on, let me just put this up here. Rob needs to speak to my booking manager. Can't seem to find Maison de Ilana on Airbnb. Rob, I got the same problem. Sorry to say that. Yes, no audio. Well, we had some funny things going on. Like I said before, not StreamYard. YouTube was actually running faster than Melon was, which is rather interesting. Yes, Michael Ann, new intro. I hope you like it. It took me ages to put together. G'day, Alyssa. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. G'day, Philip. How they hanging, buddy? It's been ages since we've had the chat. Yes, so there we go. Thank you, Governor. Glad you could hear me. All right, so let's get this cookie underway. Well, folks, it's been nearly 2 weeks that we've been home. My ears are still at 30,000 feet, especially my right ear. My left one, I can hear kind of well, but my right one, I need to go and see somebody about seeing if I can't unblock it. So I've got here in the thing behind me. Oh, g'day, Halfwit. How you going, buddy? Nice to have representation from NZ, Oz, and the UK, as well as Canada. Philip, been busy. Just paid final payment for January cruise. Hey, that's awesome. Where are you going in January? Okay, so let me tell you what's going on. The next, so Helping Hands we've just had the Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise. The next Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise is on the Carnival Pride going out of Tampa in March. It's going, I think it's March 12th to the 19th of next year. So that's going to be an awesome cruise. It's hosted by Fintastic Cruising. That's why I've got their logo sitting just up there. The agent who you would contact, the TA who you would contact, is Kimbra from Fintastic Cruising, and all her details are in the description below. So please go ahead and have a lovely, lovely look at that one. Now, okay, Philip. Melbourne to Adelaide and Kangaroo Island during the Australia Day weekend. Mate, quick question. Is that on a P&O or is that on a Princess ship? Because I know that the Coral Princess is doing Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney, Kangaroo. I know it's doing some of those there. So what's the ship? Fill us in. Be nice to know. And Alyssa, what have you been up to? Likewise, okay, folks, what have you guys all been up to, and who's on a cruise coming up shortly? We've got one. We won't be doing the Helping Hands for Cruising one. I don't have 10 grand to put together to do the flights and all that trip that the last one cost us. What we are doing in March of next year is we're taking my parents on a cruise. Both my sister Ilana and I and my brother-in-law, we're taking my mum and dad on a cruise, and it's going to be on the Grand Princess, which is the same one as Philip. It's on the Grand Princess going from Melbourne to Sydney via Eden. So that's going to be an awesome 3-dayer. And interestingly enough, it's going to be my parents' first cruise. They're both in their mid to late 80s, and it'll be their first cruise. So there we go. Philip is going on the Grand Princess in a mini suite. Very nice. Very nice indeed. G'day, Jonesy. Yes, that would be cool, mate. You could come along with us. We'd only skip over the pond, just a little bit of a jump there. Alyssa says she hasn't done anything interesting lately. Oh, come on. You've cooked dinner at least once, right? Rob, no March cruise for me. Someone decided I have to fly across to the dark side in 2024. Ah. Yes, come on down. Come on down. Rob, I think you're going to have an awesome time here. Spend Christmas here in 2024, and then 25, we're on a group cruise going out of Sydney somewhere. We haven't got any itineraries put out yet. I've been looking on all the cruise lines. There are no itineraries going out of Sydney at this particular point in time for January of 25. Hopefully it comes out fairly soon, because the latest ones are, I think it's August or September of 24. So we'll see what happens then. Suffice it to say, folks, it's been an interesting comeback after flying. I mean, Jesus, it's a long bloody flight. Well, especially considering we did 3 flights, we didn't break it up. But the longest flight was doing Houston to Auckland, which was 14 hours. So that was interesting. Both Ilana and I have been pretty well wrecked, and we've actually started getting back into the scheme of work pretty much 3 days after we landed. So you got to do what you got to do. Now, I'm noticing that there are a few other ships that are coming in. Not only have we got the Grand Princess, we've also got the Coral Princess. I know that we've got the Carnival Luminosa, as well as the Splendor. We've also got, coming in 2024, we will have the Resilient Lady out of Virgin. That will be homeporting in Melbourne. I believe P&O is that first stop into Adelaide. So Adelaide has just opened up her doors to cruising. So that's been exciting. What else can I say? Okay, Philip, last Friday you went to your daughter's pole dance showcase. It was a lot of fun. Oh, that's awesome. Alyssa, couldn't travel far on a plane. That would be awful. Is bad enough from Brisbane to it's bad enough from New Zealand to Brisbane. Yes, you mean? So what we had done is we had 3 flights back to back to back. So the first flight went from Tampa to Houston. That flight at 5 o'clock in the evening. We got into Houston. It was a 2-hour flight, and we actually stopped. It went back in time, so it went to Central. So it looked like we'd only flown an hour, but in actual fact, we'd flown 2 hours. We then had a 2-hour layover in Houston. We're looking for it was interesting because I was actually expecting us to go through customs in Houston, but apparently customs was done very easily. We were then put on the plane, and then it flew for 14 hours down to Auckland. At Auckland, we had to get off the plane and go through through security check. And then we had another couple of hours wait, or hour and a half wait. And then we were back on the flight going from Auckland to Melbourne, which was a 4-hour flight. Stopping in Melbourne at 11 o'clock and being picked up by about midday. So that was it. Philip is saying 4 hours of watching dance performers on poles and aerial rings. It must have wet your whistle, that one, Philip. Markalan, my budget might allow for a dinner cruise down the river here on the that one, Duck d'Orleans. Yeah, I got you there. Um, Alyssa saying, "Oh no, yeah, well that was pretty long." So here's the thing, Alyssa. When we're actually cruising out of Sydney, you'll be able to fly or drive down to Sydney, and then from then on, we'll get on the cruise ship and do the South Pacific or New Zealand. Oh, well, you've been to New Zealand, so we'll think maybe the South Pacific, and it's more attractive to Ilana if we did do South Pacific because one of the stops we'll do is in Suva, which is where Ilana used to live, so she'd want to go back there again. South Pacific, it would take in Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia. So that's an awesome cruise. That's the one we'd be looking at for 2025 or something similar. But we'll have to wait and see because there's enough other people who want to do the barrier reef. So well, we'll see. We'll see what itineraries are available to go off in the first week. It will be absolutely astounding, let me tell you. What a way to start a new year, huh? You watch the fireworks and then you sail off. Awesome. All right. Who else has got things happening? So, Alyssa is back in New Zealand for now due to the housing crisis in Brisbane. There's a housing crisis? Oh my goodness me. So whereabouts? You're in Auckland or further south? Yes, it will be an awesome cruise, let me tell you. And especially with a whole group of people, that makes it even better. Okay, so what else can I tell you? Time for a caffeine hit. And the days are getting nice and warm. Jonesy, we hit 28 degrees, I think close to 29. The car said 32 because it was sitting in the sun, but I know that we hit about 29. What did you guys hit down in Tassie, where you are? Philip is saying that in YouTube you can search Shine 2022 and his daughter is at timestamp 2 hours 4 minutes. We'll have a look and we'll see. That should be awesome. Anyway, I won't do that right now. So when are you thinking of doing the South Pacific cruise? So it's as soon as we have the itinerary out. We'd be looking at it being the first week of January in 2025. That's when we're looking at doing that group cruise. Michael Ann is saying that it's 3C right now. Gee, that's cold. But you're still in morning time. And being in Canada, I can understand you'd be having some cold nights. Philip is saying that the amazing thing is that these girls do not believe in gravity. No, I know. My niece does pole dancing as well, or did pole dancing as well. And no, she does not know how to spell the word gravity either. What can I say? You know, you got to be fit to do that thing, and it's half the fun. Rob, all the more reason for you to spend some money and come down under, because you never know what we might do to you in the first week of Jan on the group cruise. Alyssa saying they had 23C and sunny here in Christchurch. You're in Christchurch. Oh, cool. Hey, Alyssa, tell me how are repairs coming after all the earthquakes and stuff? Is Christchurch getting itself back together? When I went there, would have been about 40 years ago. When I went there, it was a very pretty city, and so awesome place. Philip, there were also lots of men in G-strings this year. Were they playing guitars? Were they, or double basses? It's all about the bass. No treble. It's just about the bass. No treble. It's all about the bass. Shut up, Sean. Get moving. Yes. So um, we've got a whole bucket load of ships coming down now. I know that Dave Burgess and his wife just got off a repositioning cruise on, I think they're Royal Caribbean lovers. So I think it was Ovation of the Seas. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but there was some. They were on a repositioning cruise out of Hawaii. That was an awesome ship, and they had a load of fun. Halfwit is having a bit of a giggle there. And Michael Ann is saying they had 19 to 20 C earlier this week. Not ready for the cold yet. Yeah, no, I get that one. Oh, it's all about the beard, No stubble. I like that. That's cool. Yep. Well, mate, back to stubble. I'm going to shave it all off again for Saturday. And on Saturday, our Saturday, your Friday night, those of you that are across the pond, for those that are on our side of the pond and across the ditch, we will be going live on Saturday at 2 p.m. Melbourne time, which I think is 4 p.m. Christchurch time. I could be wrong. I think you guys are 2 hours ahead, if I'm not mistaken. And for you across the pond, so Michael Ann and so forth, it will still be 10 p.m. Friday evening your time. Alyssa is saying, yes, there are lots of changes. It looks much nicer now. Most businesses are out of the city now, so lots of little boutique shops, clothing and cafes in the city. Now the tram is running again. Oh, that's awesome. Back to normality. So, all right. So yes, New Zealand is Christchurch is 2 hours ahead of us here in Oz. So it will be 4 p.m. on Saturday. This time change sucks. Michael Ann, you're so right. I mean, it confuses the crap out of me. That's why I've got an app on my computer that tells me exactly when things are coming and when things are going, and what time everything is on. Yes. So, let me just get something up here that will help me out, because I never know what the temp is at any time, and so it would be very useful for me to have. Oh, there we go. Okay, so Stream Elements is saying, welcome to Humpday with the Down Under Cruisers. Please support the channel so that we can support Helping Hands for Cruising. Notice I've got my Helping Hands for Cruising t-shirt on, so there we go. Current temperatures here in Melbourne, 22 degrees with 71% humidity. It feels like 22 degrees. Did you guys watch the blood moon last night? Did you guys get to see it? That was awesome. Oh, thank you very much, Michael Ann. Yes, I agree. It is a nice t-shirt. Yeah, I know one of the guys who designed it. I also know one of the guys who bought it. I mean, Ilana. Sure did. Oh, good on you, Jonesy. It was awesome there. G'day, Devil Dog. How you going? All right to you as well. Welcome aboard. It's nice to have you on board. Isn't it a bit early for you, or is it a bit late? Are you just an early riser? Looked great over the water. Yeah, the moon did. The blood moon did. It was awesome. I believe the next time we're going to get to see it is in 2025, apparently. Alyssa, watched the blood moon. It was such a clear night with bright stars. What time did you get it, Alyssa? Did you get it pretty much most of the day, or did you get it late in the evening? Hey, Devil Dog, have you ever been on a cruise ship? I know Jonesy's been on the Spirit of Tasmania, which apparently now does not stop in Melbourne; it stops in Geelong. Devil Dog is saying it's early 3:20 a.m. Where he is, and he's doing a Kenny. He's not been to sleep yet. Yes, sleep is, well. Some people say it's overrated. Others say it's well. You need it. Your body needs it. No, Devil Dog has not cruised. Well, just for those of you that are on the other side of the pond, as in Devil Dog, Markalan, etc., etc. The next cruise, Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise, is going on the Carnival Pride out of Tampa on the 12th to the 19th. Well, what do you know? It's that time of the day. Let me just put this video up, and you'll get to see all about this cruise. All right, what can I say? What can I say? YouTube has been beating me again, and apparently we've gone on a bit of a freeze up. So, anyway, Michael Ann. Let me see what's going on here. Yeah, Michael Ann. Well, I'm still interesting. Let me just set this up. Michael Ann says, "Forgive me if I doze off. It's 4:21 a.m. and I haven't been to sleep yet. My sleep schedule's messed up." Yeah, just like everybody else's. So Alyssa was saying that it started about 11 p.m., was dark, rusty red by midnight. And that would have looked absolutely awesome. Okay, Devil Dog, never been on a cruise. Mother and stepdad have. Mate, you need to get on a cruise. You just need to. It's awesome. They would have loved it. So you need to do it as well. They leave out of Galveston. Yeah, Galveston's a good spot. Just out there in Texas. It's a good port. There are a number of people I know that are actually going out of Galveston. So yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I know, Alyssa. It freezes up. Something I need to do is reboot the machine again, but I'm not going to do that right now. For some reason, YouTube is running a bit faster than my program here. But anyway, we'll sort that one out. Spirit of Tasmania is awesome. 10-hour cruise. Yeah, I know. Thanks. I know I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. My shadow weighs 42 pounds. You know I'm back? No. Rob, 20 pounds says his Mac don't like his new upgrades. Yeah, 20 pounds says, no, don't give me 20 pounds. I'll give you $20 because $20 goes a lot less further than your 20 pounds. But my Mac needs to be rebooted again. And well, I didn't do a total reboot. I did a restart. I put the new memory in, I shut it down, put the new memory in, brought it up, and then did a cleanup, and then did a restart, not a reboot. So there we go. Alyssa's saying Devil Dog, neither is she. Yeah, so there we go. So what's important is, folks, we need to make sure that we can get a lot more people out there cruising. We're looking for recipients. So anybody who's never been on a cruise for one reason or another, whether it be financial or whether it be disability, or the person is a carer of somebody who is disabled and would like the opportunity of having a break and has never had the opportunity of having a break, then basically what we need is somebody to nominate them. The nomination could be put into a video. That video can then be sent off to the Helping Hands for Cruising board, or send it here and we'll send it on to the Helping Hands for Cruising board. And then once it's gone to the Helping Hands for Cruising board, the board will then have a look and nominate the person and then put them onto the relevant cruise. And that will be awesome. Alyssa's asking, do people get seasickness on the cruises? Alyssa, I would be lying if I said nobody ever does. However, the cruises are so well set up that seasickness is actually few and far between. There are patches you can get, or worst case scenario, you can actually get an injection on board that actually removes the seasickness. So, but it does make you a bit drowsy. But that is a good way of actually doing things. It's just there are patches you can get, Dramamine or other types of drugs like that, or the injection. But really, quite honestly, seasickness is not that great. Some of these ships are so big that they take on board the rise and fall and all that sort of stuff relatively well. Philip is saying that if he's ever on life support, just pull the plug, then plug it back in again. That should work. Mate, they call that thing a defibrillator. That's exactly what a defibrillator does. Pulls the plug and then puts it back in again. Stream Elements is giving us the links for the Helping Hands for Cruising Facebook page and asking for people to donate to help special needs people go on a cruise. The direct PayPal link is as follows. You can pick that up. We will ask, or else pick it up from the QR code, which is just up here, and that will take you directly to the donations section. We want to get more people going on board. The next Helping Hands for Cruising group cruise, the one that's going out of Tampa, we have a couple there, James and his wife, Cindy Catanese. Now, we know that they have never been on a cruise ship before, and as a result, he's also in a wheelchair. As a result, the two of them are being treated to a cruise, and it's going to change a bucket load of lives. The last cruise we went on, the last Helping Hands for Cruising one, the one we just came back off, young Kenneth Oakes was on that group cruise, and I can tell you, not only was Kenneth's life changed, but everybody else who associated with him, their lives have been changed as well, only for the better. So there we go. Jump on, come on board. You're going to have an awesome time. The cruise that you will go on with with uh, James and Cindy Catanese, as we saw there, it's doing the Cayman Islands, it's doing Belize, it's doing Cozumel, and one other. Excuse me. But the good news is James is going to be better off for it, and everybody else who comes in association with James and his wife Cindy. So there we go. Alyssa goes, oh, nice. We're going to look for a recipient to go on board ours as well. The one that's going to be in January of 25. We're looking for a recipient for that one as well. And the more we get on board that, you'll just find it'll just be absolutely amazing. And Alyssa is happy for Kenny from what you've said. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need to ask me or take my word for it. Go and ask Sarah and Glenn, Alyssa. They will tell you as well, because Sarah and Glenn were on there. And I don't know if you know Deb Wright. She was also on there. Deb and her mother Lois. Things happened. There were changes, and it was absolutely unbelievable. Aside from the fact that the Carnival crew helped out immensely, we had an absolute blast. And Cookie, the cruise director, was absolutely awesome. And for those of us that are this side of the pond, you would know, we got Cookie doing some Tim Tam slams. In fact, everybody who was on board ship, we got them, as in part of our group cruise, we got them all doing Tim Tam slams as well. So that was really exciting. It's nice to see a group of people doing a Tim Tam slam. They really don't know how to do it, but they'll give it a go. And then one of them, Danny Griswold, was doing a Tim Tam slam in tea. It was green tea, so he had chocolate and green tea. It was interesting. It was fun. It was fun. Tim Tams was the currency for bribery. If I wanted anything from Cookie, I just gave him some Tim Tams. There was also one of the dancers on the cruise, a young guy, 21-year-old guy. He was feeling a bit homesick. He was from Oz, and he ended up getting some caramello koalas. So that was fun. We were excited. We're excited about that. Alyssa, you'll find out prices as soon as we have the itinerary. Once we've got the itinerary, then we will publish the cruise, and we will then give you prices accordingly. And I think you will be favourably surprised, because we will work it out on a group format. We need eight cabins to be sold, and that'll then turn it into a group. And once it's a group, we can then go for the sky's the limit. But it's going to be awesome. Okay, so you will, as I say, you will find out when we get closer to the time. As soon as we have an itinerary, Ilana and I will sort it out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, what more can I say? We are just having an absolutely fantastic time. Helping Hands for Cruising is getting a lot of recognition. And people are cruising again. The gates now, you'll start to see a lot more content. We just put out a video for Helping Hands. That was Cookie's interview. If you have a look at the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel, that will have it. Also, what we'll be doing is giving you some more content about what we did on the cruise, on the group cruise, and hopefully we'll get some more interest. We'll get a bucket load more Aussies coming on board. And yes, Alyssa, you are quite right. Cool that no one would know there would be no one, that one would be good, no flying for hours. Yes, definitely. Although we're trying to get a number of people from across the pond to come on over, people like Michael Ann and Rob and all the people that were on the group cruise with us last time. We're trying to get a bucket load of interest of those people all joining us in March. We know that we've got a couple of people coming out of Houston that'll be excited for that one. We've got Dewey, who's also expressed some interest, although Dewey might be a bit cruised out. He's doing the World Cruise, 274 days, on the not the Elation of the Seas, I believe it is. Oh no, it's a Royal Caribbean. He'll be doing that cruise ship. He went on it as we were about to go to Clearwater, which was about a week ago. He went on it for a short one, and that was cool. But hey, Nick, how you going? You're down to 57 days. You've been working so much, but you're pushing through. You're laying over in Boston. You had lost your direct flight to Dublin after the pandemic. Oh, serious? So what, Boston? So what's your flight itinerary? How are you getting to Dublin now? And it's good to see you in on the chat there, Nick. So give us a hint. How are you getting into Boston? Into Dublin. We've got Lorraine there. G'day, Lorraine. How are you? Welcome aboard. I hope you're feeling a little bit better today. Hello, everyone. How many nights is the 2025 cruise? Now, as you may or may not know, any cruises going out of Australia to places like the South Pacific would generally go anywhere between 10 and 14. So we're assuming that cruise might go 12 nights, which will be awesome. Lorraine just woke up, so that's nice to see. Yes. So that's what it would be. And so very roughly, Alyssa, I'm saying that you could, if you were coming out of New Zealand, you could be looking at around $3,000 for the 12 nights, which is not a bad price actually, if you consider your accommodation is included, your travel is included, all your meals are included, all the entertainment on board ship is included. What more can we say? So it depends on the cruise line as well, but I'm hazarding a guess somewhere around about the high twos, early threes per person. So now, if you're traveling on your own, we'll figure out a way that we might be able to get somebody to share with you. Obviously, they'd be of the same persuasion as you, so that's cool. No, I'm not going to mix blokes and females unless they specifically want to be mixed. Rob on the road, the governor is saying, so I just got to quit my job and move into your place for 6 weeks. Well, it sounds like a good idea to me. I mean, you went to that other place, US. I think you did that for at least 3 weeks. So what can we say? Alyssa saying awesome price. Yeah, I think it's an awesome price considering what you get for it. So that's going to be amazing. Okay, Nick is saying Minneapolis to Boston with Delta in first class, and then a first class seat that lies down from Boston to Dublin with Delta, then 1 day in Dublin before you fly with Aer Lingus to Amsterdam. What was the flight you were going to get that was the direct? Was it the Aer Lingus flight, or was it Delta? Depends if he's a hottie or not. Well, that's what I'm going to say, Alyssa. You never know. We might find a hottie. Then again, you make the choice. What is one person's hottie may not be another person's. Uh, well, that I'm just saying. Um, yeah, what I might think is hot, you might not, but that's besides the point. Yes, so that's going to be interesting. Now, the and Minneapolis to Boston. So, how much time are you staying in Boston before you fly off to Dublin? Also, Nick, that's an important question. Because what we did was we just did back to back to back to back coming home. Going over, we did Auckland to sorry Melbourne to Auckland, Auckland to Houston. 2 days in Houston, then down to Tampa because we couldn't get to Fort Myers because it was the day or two just after the hurricane. Jonesy, thank you very much. Smash that like button, folks. Yes, please. And also, if you're going to drag anybody else in, please drag them in and get them to hit that sub button, the subscribe button, and share it out in the likes because that's the only way that we can get things happening and get more numbers and so forth. Alyssa's got, oh, I like that one. Nick is saying Aer Lingus came to Minneapolis for 6 months. They started serving Minneapolis in August of 2019, then canned the flight March 2020. You never know, mate. Those flights could come back. Um, it's not uncommon. The governor's saying depends. When does she drink scotch? Mate, you got to ask that question. Um, Thank you, Devil Dog. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that one. Um, Alyssa is going with a bit of a giggle there. Well, that's true, but then again, you've got to answer Rob's question: do you drink scotch? Because if you do, you will have an awesome time with the governor. It's the only way I know the governor can actually think straight is 2 bottles of scotch a week. Am I telling everybody you're an alcoholic, Cov? If I am, good, you deserve it. Um, no. Um, all I want to say is that when you join us on a cruise, you're going to have so much fun. You're going. I mean, the thing that made it the most for me with the last cruise was the last night was an 80s night, 80s dance night, and there was Kenny actually having a dance, and that was just unbelievable. Um, it certainly changed things. Okay, Nick, I'm scheduled to land in Boston at 11 a.m. and the flight to Dublin leaves after 9:45 p.m. We're scheduled to land in Ireland at 8:50. Have been delayed since May 2020 on returning to the Emerald Isle. Let me say this. Excuse me. It's good that you've got that bucket load of time between leaving Boston and going to Dublin because it gives you a chance to relax, recover. For us, it was just rush, rush, rush. Um, Alyssa can after a few beers, mate. You got to give Alyssa some beers and then get her into the scotch. You never know what might come up. The governor supporting independent distilleries and keeping businesses alive through his drinking. That's a good one. Good on Kenny. Yes, it and actually it was quite awesome watching the transition from this scared young man getting onto a cruise ship, going to different ports, seeing the beach, seeing the ocean, understanding what's underneath the ship, and then just chilling out and relaxing. It was just absolutely brilliant. And so we found it quite amazing. Not only for us, but for all the other people who attended as well, because we changed with him. We grew. We understood. I'll never forget. Um, it was breakfast one morning in on the Lido in the marketplace, which is the buffet, So I was sitting there with Kenny, Donovan, Ilana, Sarah, and Glenn came up, and also V, and I think Michael Ann, you were there as well. And Sarah mentioned she'd got a sausage and some eggs and stuff, and she took a bite of the sausage and she goes, "Oh, this is," and she had a bit of a cough up. This sausage is spicy, and Kenny started to have a bit of a giggle. And the more he giggled, the more Sarah giggled, and the more Sarah giggled, it broke out into a full blown laughter, which then set Glenn off. And not only did it set Glenn off, but it set Ilana off as well. And so there were about 5 people around our table just wetting themselves laughing. Most of all, Kenny, who couldn't almost stay in the chair. And added to that, it affected like 3 tables back and 3 tables forward. And there was a kid who had some autistic issues, and he was feeling so bad for Kenny that Kenny was killing himself laughing so much that he tried to make Kenny calm down. It was funny. It was just hilarious. 30 minutes it took for Kenny to straighten up. It was hilarious. Should have been there. Anyway, Nick is saying one of his favorite things he's going to be doing on that trip is going around. He's going a round trip on the Caledonian Sleeper from London to Inverness in Scotland, and he'll wave at the governor there in England. Yep, the Gov will be waiting for you to wave at him. He'll actually stand at the station and give you the old royal wave. Won't you, Gov? Alyssa, yeah, having a bit of a giggle, like we all did. Nick, having a bit of a giggle. Yep, it was absolutely hilarious. I think we got some video of it, and just seeing how the different people are. Oh, it's awesome. So yes, these sort of things will happen to you when you're on your group cruise, when you come with us in 2025. And if any of you across the pond are deciding to go on the one going on the Carnival Pride, that's exactly what you're going to have happening. Right now, I know you've got Matt and Kimbra. We've got Dewey going on there. We've got Paradj, if you know them. We've also got Meg from Meg, and Meg and Paul. And I believe Troy Stanton is also going on there as well with his wife. So there are a few people going on there. I believe there's at least 10 to 15 cabins booked right now. So, and we're just waiting for those things to happen, and everybody's going to have an absolute ball, absolute fun. Yes, folks, please check out the Helping Hands for Cruising website. It's Helping Hands, the number 4, cruising.org. Hit there, and you will go in and see our shop, our blog. And it'll also get you to the Helping Hands for Cruising website and Facebook page. Okay, so what else can I say? We're gearing up. Next week is going to be an awesome session. We've got so on Friday night or Saturday our time, we've got Deb Wright. We're going to bring her up on board our channel. And we're going to be talking about traveling with disabilities. Deb is legally blind. She uses a guide dog, Glenna. So we're going to talk to her about traveling with her mum. Her mum's in a wheelchair. Her mum's 86, I believe. Just had her birthday on board the ship. And that was absolutely amazing. So we'll be talking to her about what's going on, how the best way to travel with somebody who's disabled, and we can go on from there. Nick is saying that it's 1 week from today that he'll be 31 years old. It will also be 1 year since he met Darian in person. Mate, I want to tell you, we are so upset because we wanted to get Darian had set in his mind that both him and Rafael Viso were going to bring their equipment in order to make spaghetti ice. But they did telephone Carnival to find out whether or not they were allowed to bring that equipment up on board. And the downside was they were not allowed, unfortunately, purely because it will be confiscated. As a result, we went spaghetti iceless. But the good news is some people in Aruba went, Darian organized for some people in Aruba to go to a German restaurant. And according to Darian, it was authentic German cooking. So there we go. Exciting opportunities. Lots of new different. We didn't actually do it because we had other arrangements. We had a booking, a dinner engagement that night. I think it was the chef's table. So that was exciting. And yes, if ever you get to go on a cruise, please go ahead, try the chef's table. It is something to behold. You watch these chefs bust their balls making stuff that is you wouldn't find on the normal table. For example, Kenny did not even realize he was eating avocado until the chef said this was made from avocado. So there we go. And Kenny does not like, you mentioned avocado, and he turns green. So there we go. So at the end of the day, you'll get to enjoy various things. You'll get to do various things. So you'll have lots of fun. Okay. Let's see. Yes, so looking forward to what comes up. So as I said, this Friday we'll be dealing with Deb Wright, or Friday evening at 10 p.m. Eastern, or 2 p.m. on Melbourne time, Eastern Daylight Saving Time. So that'll be an interesting one. Nick is saying he'll be having spaghetti ice with Angie in Heidelberg in Germany in January. So excited to have his first fresh German one with her and her husband. It'll be nice to see Angie. Hopefully she can jump into our chats from time to time, but it'll be really nice. She is a Melbourne girl, so what can I say? Or actually, she lived in Melbourne for a while, so there we go. And she actually lived in Heidelberg, would you believe? Because she lives in Heidelberg now, but she did live in Heidelberg in Melbourne, which is a suburb of Melbourne. Okay, so without much further ado, folks, we will be doing our Wednesdays as per normal. Wednesdays will be at 8 p.m. Melbourne time. Our Friday nights or Saturdays are the ones that vary with the time zone. So we'll be doing 2 p.m. From now on, until daylight saving goes out. We'll be doing 2 p.m. On Saturday afternoons, which equates to 10 p.m. Eastern on a Friday night. And then we'll hopefully we can get a bucket load more people on board. We want to get a whole host of more Aussies on board onto our chats on Wednesday evenings, because I think we can talk more about the cruise ships that are coming in and going out. For example, Philip will be doing his cruise. So he's just done one from Sydney to Brisbane, I believe. That was on a P&O cruise, and he'll be doing the Grand Princess going from Melbourne to Adelaide. I know that Arthur is doing the Grand Princess from Adelaide through to Sydney, I believe. I could be wrong, but I know that Arthur was doing that, the Grand Princess, a couple of weeks or a week before we do the one from Melbourne to Sydney. So there we go. It's coming up to the witching hour for me, folks. So I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to wish you all an awesome week. Please like, subscribe, and share out the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel. And also, please go ahead and donate. We need to get more recipients on board ships. Even if we can get a couple going out of Oz, that'd be awesome. Have a great night, and we shall catch up with you on the weekend. Sail well. Take care.